Welcome back, traveler. Tonight, we're not walking through battlefields or marching with soldiers. Instead, we slip quietly into the minds of ancient Romans, not the generals or emperors, but everyday citizens. We're here to uncover the strange, curious, and sometimes downright bizarre things they believed. Beliefs that shaped how they lived, what they feared, and how they explained the mysterious world around them. Some of these may sound odd, even laughable, to us now. But to the people of ancient Rome, they were real, powerful, and often deeply comforting. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep watching our future videos. So settle in. Let the flicker of torchlight and the rustle of togas carry you back in time. The Romans believed gods and spirits were in nearly everything, not just temples, but fields, doorways, kitchens, and crossroads. Every home had a small shrine to the lares and penates, protective spirits of the household. Families offered daily prayers and food scraps to them, believing these spirits kept the family safe and prosperous. Romans even had gods for concepts like fides, trust, fortuna, luck, and pax, peace. They personified values and emotions, giving divine presence to everyday life. Romans were extremely superstitious. If you sneezed at the wrong time or stumbled when leaving the house, it might mean disaster was coming. They believed in omens everywhere. Birds flying in certain patterns, thunder in the wrong season, or dreams about teeth falling out. Augurs, or omen readers, were official figures who interpreted signs from nature, especially the behavior of birds, to guide decisions. From marriages to military campaigns, Romans believed that words had power, especially when written down. They used defixiones, or curse tablets, to bring misfortune to enemies, rivals, or unfaithful lovers. People would inscribe their wishes on thin sheets of lead and bury them in graves or throw them into wells. These curses often called on gods of the underworld to act on their behalf. Some even carried amulets with inscriptions to protect them from these curses, a spiritual arms race of sorts. The Romans feared ghosts. They called them lemures or larvae. They believed that if the dead weren't properly buried or honored, they might return to haunt the living. There was even a festival, Lemuria, held in May to cleanse homes of any lingering spirits. People would walk barefoot at night, tossing black beans over their shoulders while chanting spells to appease the dead. They avoided marriages and business deals during May. It was considered an unlucky time filled with spiritual danger. Alongside formal medicine, Romans believed in charms and rituals for healing. A sore throat? Tie a red string around your neck and recite a specific verse. A fever? Sleep with a specific herb under your pillow. Many wore small figures of gods or animals as protective pendants. Mothers hung amulets on their babies to ward off evil spirits. And strange looks were rare if someone whispered prayers to their food or rubbed lucky stones before eating. Romans believed the stars could reveal your destiny. Astrologers, often Greek, were consulted for love advice, battle plans, and personal fortunes. Even emperors like Augustus were fascinated by horoscopes. Birth dates, planetary alignments, and celestial omens were serious business. Though not everyone trusted astrologers, many found comfort in believing the universe had a plan, even if written in the stars. Certain animals held special meaning. Owls were considered omens of death. Snakes were both feared and worshipped, especially as symbols of healing and protection. Chickens were sacred in military settings. Before battles, soldiers would observe their eating habits. If the chickens ate greedily, it was a good sign. If they refused food, it was considered a terrible omen. Romans believed that dreams could be messages from the divine or glimpses into the underworld. Some temples had special sleeping chambers where people could receive prophetic dreams. Dream interpreters helped citizens decode what they saw during sleep. A dream about flying might mean success, but dreaming of shadows or broken teeth could be a bad omen. Some places were believed to be spiritually powerful or dangerous. Sacred groves, underground caves, and old battlefields were treated with caution. Temples were constructed at spots thought to be blessed by the gods. Others avoided tombs, ruins, or even certain public fountains rumored to be cursed. While many Roman rituals were public, like sacrifices or parades, others were secretive, like the cult of Mithras or the Bacchanalia. These involved symbolic initiations, mysterious rites, and spiritual rebirth. Members believed they were chosen and protected by powerful, hidden forces. In Roman families, beliefs and rituals were passed down from generation to generation. Children learned superstitions from elders, and families had specific protective charms or traditions they followed. Even household items, like a favorite cooking pot or statue, could hold symbolic meaning and spiritual weight. Many Romans believed that success in politics meant you were favored by the gods. Emperors and generals emphasized omens or dreams that proved their divine approval. Victory parades often included sacrifices and public rituals to thank the gods for their favor. Across the empire, there were temples believed to bring healing miracles. People traveled for days to bathe in sacred springs or sleep under the stars at certain shrines. Stories of miraculous recovery spread, giving rise to legends of divine healing and sacred places. Not all Roman beliefs were dramatic. Much of it was quiet, a whispered word, a protective gesture, or a thankful offering. From farmers to bakers, citizens carried small routines and charms with them. They believed in the presence of unseen forces that watched, helped, or hindered, depending on how they were treated. So, what do we make of all these strange beliefs? Were they foolish or just different ways of explaining the world? Maybe both. In a time without modern science, people turned to ritual, myth, and magic to bring order to chaos. These beliefs were not just superstition. They were comfort, tradition, and identity. As you drift off to sleep tonight, remember, even the mighty Romans needed stories to make sense of the dark. Good night, and may the Lares keep your dreams safe.